Good day and welcome to the Automotive Society Podcast. My name is Siraj and today I'm joined by the weird and wonderful Alex.
Weird and wonderful?
Weird
Where did
and
that
wonderful.
come from?
I don't know.
I mean, my car taste is weird and wonderful, I'll be honest.
It is. Not wonderful, weird.
No, wonderful.
Oh, okay. What's your latest craze in cars?
Well, straight in. Okay, actually, you know what? I do have a new craze.
Yeah, what is it?
K-cars.
K-cars?
Yeah.
What kind of K-cars?
Just all of them. They've just...
I like the K-trucks.
Sick. Okay, so
Tipper trucks?
Yeah.
I really love them.
However, I've got a new love for the Hi-Jet.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah, that's
but
what
it's
I'm
not
talking
the tipper truck. It's the one that looks like a people mover, 4 doors, but it's got a little pickup truck at the back.
Oh, okay.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I do like them.
I think as a daily, that's
K-trucks is my thing. K-cars wise, I like boxy. The boxier, the better.
You're talking like is it the Miras and the charades and all that sort of stuff?
Boxes. Yeah.
Yeah, box on wheels.
I was talking about the Ruckus.
No.
Like
the Ruckus is horrible.
The little cube. No, I love Ruckus.
It's not.
I love the Ruckus.
It's a rip-off of a Nissan Cube, but worse.
But tinier. Like I think the Nissan Cube is a little bit too big.
Too big?
Too big.
It's tiny.
Yeah, but like it's not a K car, right? It's too big. So
the Ruckus is bigger. I'm sure of it.
No, the Ruckus is not bigger.
You know what? I'm gonna.
Are you sure?
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe I'm not thinking about the Ruckus. There's Pro Box. Is it the Pro Box? Oh, that's massive too, isn't it? That's a people mover.
Yeah, it's huge.
Okay, in Japan, Toyota makes this K car, which is a literal cube. Like, it looks like a Nissan Cube, and it's a little cube. And I love it. And now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure it's Nissan. Oh, no, sorry, Toyota. I'm pretty sure it's Toyota. I don't know if it's... Nah, it's pretty sure it's Toyota.
Ruckus is massive.
Okay, maybe the Ruckus is the Australian market one.
Yeah, it is.
Whatever they have the Japanese only one.
Okay, so the K Ruckus Japan thing.
Yeah, small Nissan Cube. The Japanese,
so it's a Nissan Cube.
Japanese Cube.
You just called it a Nissan Cube.
Yeah, but like it's tiny. It's smaller. It's way smaller than
so
the
it's a
Cube.
Nissan Cube.
But smaller. It's Toyota and it's way smaller.
Right, okay.
Okay, anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
Welcome. I know it's been a while and...
hasn't been that long.
Yeah, it has been that long. I think January was the last one.
Was it?
Yeah, and we're in March.
So this is our quarterly update.
April. We're in April.
It's our quarterly update.
Yeah, at this point, we'll do 4 podcasts a year.
Oh, shit.
No, I really want to do more. Every single time I try to tee it up with anyone, they're just like, oh, sorry, I'm so busy. Oh, sorry, I'm so busy.
It's hard because I've been so busy.
Yeah, Alex is one of them. Obviously, I have been busy as well with uni. I'm doing 4 subjects this semester, which I've never done before, and it's actually hell.
Can't be that bad.
It's intense and it's hell. But like whenever I do sort of find the time, everyone else is busy. So it's really hard to line up the schedules. I want to do a weekly, we'll do it at this time every week. But the other thing that we don't have is a podcast studio. And I feel like we struggle with this a lot.
If you've been following like for a while,
yeah,
I think we started here and then we moved elsewhere.
Yeah.
Then we came back to it, and then we moved elsewhere again, and then now we're back here.
I think we moved to the room on the other side as well at one point.
Yeah.
And then, we started in that room. And then we came back to this room.
Then went to the workshop.
Then we went to my workshop, and then now we're back. And you can see the walls changed a lot. So at this point, I was like, oh, I'm going to keep this my room. But now I'm losing this room next month because I got to move.
Yeah, look, the rental crisis in Sydney is real, I'm telling you.
So I got to move. So... Yeah, it's all over the joint. So who knows? Who knows how long this will last? And yeah, it's annoying.
It sounds so depressing. How long will this last?
It took me an hour to put all these up, and now to be like, oh, I'm losing it next month.
Yep.
Yeah.
On to the next.
How the hell am I going to move all of this?
I'll make it work.
The other room still has one of my posters just because I was like, I can't move this. It's the 3M tape won't come off. So it's
gone.
Staying there.
It's gone.
We tried to do acoustic panels, but if anyone knows how to actually stick on acoustic panels, it's impossible.
It's actually really hard.
Yeah.
I think it's said to buy what was it like? I'm not going to say the brand name. They're not paying us. We bought a special glue, which they call... I can't remember the exact...
Double-sided tape.
Double-sided tape. No, remember we painted it on.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, this stuff. And it was ridiculously expensive.
Adhesive, as he's talking about. Yeah.
And we got about 5 panels in and that's it. It was done.
And then they fell off.
Yep.
So... Nothing works.
So we'll make something work eventually.
Anyway, it's not all doom and gloom. It is not all doom and gloom.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we spoke to you guys, and a lot has happened. With me, I've gone through a few cars, I think, in that time. My car's back. My Evo's back. it's back and healthy.
Have we sold them? What happened to it?
It needs a few more things. Yeah, it got hit by a truck. I'm pretty sure I explained that.
Yeah.
Well, that happened in September, so I would have explained it by now. It only just came back, by the way. It only came back last week, so it hasn't been that long.
It's been ages.
Has been ages. And it's not, even though it's back, it's not fully back. There's a few things that are broken, so it needs to go back in.
It's just parts sourcing, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the biggest issue.
Yeah, like, it's almost... I thought we sold Mitsubishi Evos in Australia brand new, like Evo 8s and 9s sold brand new. And the States got Evo 7, 8, and 9 brand new. I don't understand why it's so hard to get parts. Mitsubishi here is more useless. Like, if I want to get gearbox oil, I have to get it from Japan.
That's ridiculous.
Mitsubishi dealerships here just say, "Oh, sorry, we don't even have a listing on it, let alone stock it."
Really?
Yeah, because the Evo 8 takes a special oil called Diaqueen oil. I know there's aftermarket variants of it, but we don't get a lot of aftermarket either. Like, we don't get, what's it called, Redline?
No.
We don't get that. Motul?
No,
we don't have that much
have
here.
any of that.
Like, we have motorbike Motul, but not car Motul. And then we don't have, what's the other one people use a lot? It escapes me. Anyway, but there's a few really good gearbox brands that are American based that we don't get in Australia.
Well, the problem is you can get them, but by the time you get them here, it's like double the price.
It's like $300.
Yeah, like it's not even worth
5 liters of oil, which is not worth it. So I import it from Japan. I think it cost me $90, $80 for gearbox oil, but I do it once every 60,000 Ks. So
it's not that often.
Yeah, I mean, I have to do it now because I have to change my clutch out, but that's a rare circumstance. How often do you do your clutch?
It actually sucks. Like, honestly, I got a bit of a different one, but I have to go to like FCP Euro, if you know it.
I do not.
Okay, it's like an online retailer for European cars.
Yeah.
Everything that you can ever want is in this website.
Yeah.
But it's all in USD.
And you have to import it. Yeah.
I have everything I've ever done to that BMW.
Yeah.
Was from that website.
Like,
everything.
Yeah, just being into cars in Australia is so tough compared to...
It's hard.
I wouldn't...
Actually, you know what?
I wouldn't say America's better. Like, I know a lot of JDM cars didn't even come to America. Like, we're very privileged in the way that we got Silvias, we got Skylines.
I think we're more Japan influenced because we're closer, but
yeah,
I think...
But our laws are so against it.
Yeah, I know, but I think if we were... I can never think of myself doing this, but if we were Holden enthusiasts... Okay.
Oh, yeah, would
probably be okay.
We'd be in the land of plenty. And that makes sense. But even then, it's a GM part. You still have to import it. Like most Holden parts, you have to import.
Yeah, I know. It's just, at least you can go to some guy and say, hey, I want this, and they say I can get it.
Yeah, yeah. Or like, worst case scenario, there's an Australian company that makes it, you know?
Yeah. There's heaps of local source parts now. Heaps.
Yeah. There's a lot happening in the time attack and the roll racing and the drag racing in Australia now.
Yeah.
So, like, we have a lot of main, like, really good brands that even America imports from us, which are to do with Evos and rotaries. Well, we have Pack Performance, which is one of the biggest rotary shops in the world.
It's getting better, but we're still behind.
But
like, no, I mean, I'm just talking like as an industry. Like, if you look across the board, we have two options. Maybe
the thing with those is they're amazing, and I'm sure you guys pay way more than we do, but it's still very expensive for us here. Like a manifold from this well-known brand that makes it here, and they're the best of the best you can get for an Evo, is like $1,800 for a manifold. And like, that's a bit expensive.
Is it, though? Like, realistically, compared to other cars here?
I think so, yeah, because I got mine, which is another well-known Australian brand, fabricated here, and that was $1,200. It's not the best of the best, but it's really good.
Yeah.
And that's titanium. So mine's a full titanium.
Yeah.
Headers, and that was $1,300 Australian dollars, which is expensive but good, I think.
See, I don't think that's that bad.
Really?
No, I don't. I just don't see it as.
But that's one thing that we make, right? But like anything that's normal, by normal I mean average wear and tear, like ball joints, control arms, and stuff like that. Like I have to get that from Japan.
Yeah, you've got no choice
because we don't make OEM. We don't keep OEM stuff.
Nobody does.
So
I think.
I either have the option of that one brand that makes blue control arms and all that. I'm not going to say the names, but you know,
are they paying us?
Everyone knows. No, that's why I'm not saying.
Well,
the
yeah,
name.
good. Yeah, that's, yeah.
So,
if you want to sponsor us, reach out on our Instagram and email
for our quarterly podcast.
Yeah, for our quarterly podcast. Feel free.
I promise we will podcast a lot more if we got paid for it.
Yeah, actually, genuinely, I probably would. Hey, I'd be like, hey, I need those bushings. Can we do 2 more podcasts?
But it is just a hobby, and it's just hard to find time out of our other job, which we get paid for, take time out of our life to then do something that is just a hobby. Like, sometimes hobbies get sacrificed when you have important stuff to do.
Yeah. It's one of those times at the moment, isn't
Just
it?
how it is. I would... Yeah. Like, there's nothing much we can do about that. But we will hopefully do a lot more. I know I promise this every time, so I'm not going to make it again. But
we'll
try.
see you in 3 months.
We will try
for our next quarterly update.
We will try. What else is happening? I've got the track car Civic.
Yeah.
EG
You're doing
Civic.
a hell of a lot of this on this at the moment.
EG Civic. I've gone on at least 2 track days a month, which is my other hobby, which is, I guess, very similar to this, but very different. Like, I've been into cars ever since I could remember, right? I've been in the automotive industry ever since I could remember.
Since you're like 16?
Yeah, like, ever since I could work, I've been working. And whereas podcasting, like, this new hobby for me that is... It's like away from cars, but I know we were talking about
cars.
Yeah, I know we were talking about cars, but it is still so far away from like audio equipment and video equipment. The amount of setup, the amount of editing, like anything, like is so new to me.
And you know what I find really funny about podcasting? Like, I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
But it's like if you and I were like, hey, let's go do something on our car, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's like a manifold or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
You go to Repco, and I mean, we're a bit different because we have the tools, but you go to Repco, you buy your spanner or whatever you need to do, right? Ratchets.
Yep.
You then come back and you put it on, you look back and you go, hey, we're going to drive it. Whereas with a podcast, you like finish it, you're like, yeah, actually that was a really good podcast.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on the computer for an hour.
Yeah.
And sit there and
let me go transfer all the files, let me go edit.
It's a lot of back stuff.
It's a whole different hobby. Like, I love that we can just sit down, chill out and talk about stuff
we
that
need
we
an
like.
editor. That's what we need.
Yeah. But
so if you want to sponsor us so we can afford an editor,
or edit for free,
please reach out.
We are your people. If you want editing experience, that's how you say it.
Sorry, let me rephrase it. Are you an editor looking for some experience?
Yeah.
Reach out to us at the Automotive Society podcast. You know what? If someone reaches out, I'll be amazed.
I will be amazed too. It's not going to happen, but that's fine. If your hobby is editing and our hobby is talking shit, we can get together.
We can make this work.
We can make this work.
But you know what? I want to finish on this K car thing because I'm really intrigued by this now. Right?
K car.
Yeah, I just...
You're actually... we haven't told everyone. Yeah, no one knows. You're actually carless.
I am carless.
You're carless.
I am completely... I don't know if I've told them yet, have I?
No, you haven't.
I am carless.
Yeah, his BMW has officially been sold.
Yeah, it's moved on.
It had one too many problems and Alex was...
It wasn't one too many problems. It was running mint.
Alex was fed up with it and he just rage quit.
Okay, so look, let me briefly bring everybody up to speed. I mean, you sort of know... you know most of it, actually, generally. But it broke down on me in... The city... I think it was January.
Yeah.
I was driving to go play some indoor soccer and I was just hearing fans go on and things happening. And then it said, like, I had a yellow warning light saying, like, engine running hot. And, like, the weirdest thing is in BMWs, especially in that N54 engine, they run hot generally.
Yeah.
I think they run at, like, 130 degrees, the oil temp or something.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, a normal car would run at, like, 90, 100 maybe. And I was like, okay, that's weird. Maybe it just needs cooling or whatever. Keep driving down the road. And I was about to pull into this side street and all of a sudden it's like red warning light, pull over now, like cannot move faster than 10 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
And it was just chaos. Look, in the end, I literally looked at it and went, yeah, I know exactly what's going on. Like straight up. I literally called the tow truck. I was like, look, water pump's gone. Come.
Yeah.
But now the water pump is done. I then drove it again. It was running pretty good. And I was toying, I think everybody knows. I've been talking about it for 6 or 8 months, right? Been toying with the idea of changing to something. And me and him have had a lot of arguments about what is cool and what is not cool.
Yeah.
And everything I've said has been cool. Everything. And he's agreed.
Absolutely not.
He has agreed. And we threw around these ideas about what we'll have the most fun in and what we can actually... Because, I mean, a lot of my cars, I just give the keys to him and he just goes and takes it for a drive or does the work on it or whatever. It's like a joint decision. Yeah.
Well, the other thing is, Alex you get like a really excited little puppy and you're like, oh, I like car shiny. I'm going to buy.
I know. And do you know, the funniest thing is, and I think I'd say this, right? But look, just to finish off on the BMW story, I fixed it. There was a guy looking for a manual and I'd been toying with that. I said, you know what? I'm going to ask this guy, like, let's just see.
Yeah.
And we had a chat. He came and he was like, this is actually the car I'm looking for. And he was like, I want to take it today. And I was like, oh man, like, and it was on a split decision. And I just went, you know what? You pay me X. It's a little bit more than I paid for it a couple years ago. I'll take it. We move on. And he did. So he did take it and that's now gone. Plan, I think, for that is he's putting like an M1M body kit on it. It's going to make 320 kilowatts and blah, 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 and whatever. It's just going to have a lot of power.
Big dreams and aspirations that everyone has when they buy a car.
I think it was really sad for me, but in saying that, I'm ready for something new.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the next experience.
Well, you were ready a while ago, I reckon. Like you've always been wanting something more.
I think we discussed this off camera today having lunch, right? And I think it's like I have this like bucket list of things, like a V8, a manual this, a K car, whatever. And by the time I'm, a little bit older, I sort of want to get through most of that because I just won't have the time after.
Which is fair enough. Like I think we all do. I've gone through plenty of cars, I'd say. This is the Subaru I just sold was my 43rd car that I've had.
I love how you say that so casually.
Yeah, like so I totally understand. What I'm trying to say is I totally understand it. Like there's sometimes you just need to try out a car, and we're not lucky enough to work in the industry of just getting new cars handed to us. Like we don't get press cars. We're not journalists. We don't get.
If you want to give us a press car, though, please reach out to us.
We don't work at a dealership. We don't actually work in that deep into the automotive sector.
No, we're not. We're on the outer rim.
Yeah, I used to work for a major dealership, so I would get a lot of high-end cars, Euro most of the time, and I would get trade-ins that I would get to try out. And I think that's what led me to be like, oh, I really want to try out these Japanese cars because that's what I like. And I got my Euro fix at work, and then I got my Japanese fix by just buying them.
Yeah.
I just went out and bought them. Like my Silvias, my Skylines, all the Nissans. I think I've had every single Nissan.
You've had a lot of Nissans.
That is like cool. Hondas. Toyota is the one that I haven't had too much of. Mazda is my current thing. Like I'm going through a lot of Mazdas.
You're a big Mazda.
Mitsubishi, there's only one Mitsubishi that everyone wants. I know there's a Galant, but not really.
GTO.
I'm not a huge fan of the GTO.
I think that's so cool.
I think the twin turbo V6 rear wheel drive was satisfied with my 300ZX.
But it's not rear wheel drive. It's four wheel drive.
It is four wheel drive, but from what I've heard, there are a lot of problems.
Oh, electrical issues for days.
Yeah, I've heard they're amazing when they work, but I can only imagine how hard it is to find parts for a GTO. They were also called the 3000 GT.
Yeah,
and pop-ups.
Yeah,
all-wheel drive V6 twin turbo sounds amazing.
I think the hardest thing is as well. I know you. If an engine blows up, you'd be like, "Oh, okay, cool. Like we'll just pull apart, we'll rebuild it, whatever." Yeah. If I said to you, "Hey, I need a whole new wiring harness," you'd probably say, "Sell the car."
Not anymore. I used to. Yeah, I used to be like that. But
there's a lot of niggly things.
Yeah. But in my last job, I worked as a wiring harness guy. Where my whole job was making wiring harnesses. And after a while, I now find it's therapeutic. You just sit at a desk.
Therapeutic.
Yeah, you sit at a desk, you got your music on, and you're just like, yep, red wire, crimping, cutting, and you just lay out each wire, each sensor in the car, each, input, output, like everything, like I to the ECU, to all the new sensors, the old sensors. So I did that a lot, and I kind of liked it. Now I'm out of it, and now I'm like, I don't know if I want to do it again, but I've done it, and it's not too hard. It's just time consuming.
Yeah, I think it's funny because I think I went through, like, how many cars I've been through since I sold my BMW. How many cars have I mentally said I want that? Oh, I've been through a lot. So
yeah, a lot.
I'll give you a funny story though. Like there was one day that,
but they've all been similar.
They've all been sort of similar.
So I feel like if you get any of them, one of any of the choice, you would have satisfied that craving.
I think so. Like I wanted something a bit bigger. I wanted 4 doors.
Yeah.
there was a chaser. Like, I just wanted a chaser. I wanted nothing else but a chaser.
Yeah.
And I was on the edge of almost pulling the trigger.
But I think your thing is not just the fact that you want a cool car. Like, I get it. Like, obviously, I want a car that I like and is whatever. But I also don't drive for work.
So that's the thing. Because I think the difference is, like, if I didn't drive for work as much, I would probably say, like, hey, I can go get this.
Yeah. And then not only do you drive for work, you also have to have a car that is presentable.
And reliable as well. Mostly reliable.
Well, yeah, you do. Say. I wouldn't say high Ks, but you just drive a lot.
Yeah.
Just drive like 10-minute trips a lot, which is probably the worst thing you can do in a 20-year-old car.
Just to let you know, like, I had to, because, you know, like, for tax deductions, I have to, like, log how far I go, right? Now, last 2 weeks I've had COVID, so I haven't really done that much. But put it this way, let's see. For the month of March.
Very professional, yeah.
I have to.
He's just looking at his phone.
Okay, Friday, 3rd of March, I did 308 kilometers one day. Monday, I did 102. Wednesday, 34, 61, 67. So I'm just constantly doing, like, anywhere between, like, 30 and 100 Ks a day.
And that's all start-stop?
Well, most of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Most of it. The thing is, I finish work. Most of work's a start-stop. And then when work's done, it is like a 40-minute drive, you know, to Sophie's or whatever else it's going to be. So I just want something to really get on the highway and enjoy. But
so I feel like what you need and what you want are two very different things.
Oh, yeah. Oh, trust me. My heart and my head are, like, pulling each other from side to side. But
I would... Well, we know that your heart will be content in the first month of owning that car, but your head will hurt for the rest of the ownership of the car.
That's it. And the funny thing is, so I really wanted to get... I saw a video on YouTube with a guy who did buy a Chaser. He's a dad as well, right?
Yeah.
And he's an architect and he designs buildings and things like that. And look, I'll be honest, I don't know that much about architecture, but he said one Japanese thing is that when you design something, you need to give it room to breathe. So he made this JZX, which was on old school Recaros. Like, it had super clean body kit on it. Like, nothing popping out, nothing like out of the ordinary. It was really super clean one. And that just sold me. And the funny thing is, I literally told him, I was like, I'm going to buy this car. I'm going to buy this Chaser. I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
And he called me the next day and I was like, oh, I put an offer in. He goes, oh, you put an offer in on the Chaser? I was like, yeah, nah, I didn't. And he goes, why? Like, what did you put an offer in? And I was like, an Audi S5 manual. And he just sat there and laughed at me. Like, that was a good quality car, actually.
It was, yeah. I mean, S5 was a good deal.
An S5 manual V8, like, you just cannot get that anymore.
Rare. Well, there's always, good finds that you find, right? Like, and you're in a good position in that way where you've got the cash ready and no car to worry about. You don't have to sell anything to buy something.
I'll tell you what's so cheap not owning a car, far out.
Yeah.
The amount of money you save is insane.
And as soon as you see, like, a good deal, you can jump on it.
Yeah.
Which is good. But yeah, like, it's always hard to get the right car, depending on your circumstances, depending on your position, right? A lot of us have it easy where, like, if you work in the city, for example, and you train it to the city and back, you can have whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
You're only driving on the weekends or at weeknights with no traffic. You can buy a Lamborghini, and that could be your only car.
And nobody would ever know.
Yeah.
Because you never go to work in it.
Yeah. I've got one of my mates whose boss has a GT2 RS.
Yeah.
And he just drives his Lancer to work every day and back. And no one knows that he has a GT2.
See, I love that.
None of he was just like, he's British.
Yeah.
So British people have a lot of like, we don't want to showboat kind of thing. Like they have that culture. So he just doesn't want his employees to know that he has a GT2 RS.
Which is fair enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's just how he is. Yeah. And like that, I find that so cool. But like, also like, you shouldn't have to hide your car. I'm going to say that's not what my ideal is. I wouldn't want to hide my car, but I totally get wanting to drive an incognito car every day.
And it's funny, right? Because you want a nice car, but you don't want it to be too flash.
Yeah.
At least in my industry, like I don't want to be too out there.
Which is why I chose my two cars. I mean, I know I expanded beyond the two cars because I'm stupid, but my ideal two-car garage was what I have, like the FD, which was the flash weekend car.
Yeah.
Which gets attention every single minute it's out.
It's almost too much attention nowadays.
It's almost too much. Yeah, it's too loud, it's too low, it looks exotic, and Otherwise, you know what it is.
Yeah.
You either don't know what it is and you think it's exotic, or you know what it is and you're like, oh, that's cool. And the other one is an Evo, which most of the time looks like a Lancer. Most of the time, I get away with it.
The thing
and
is,
it's
if they know, like they remotely know anything about cars,
yeah,
it's like, yep, it's an Evo. If you don't know anything, you're like, oh, it's an Evo. Sorry, it's a Lancer with a spoiler.
Yeah, I don't get as many golfers trying to race me. Basically, there's a lot of GTIs.
Oh my god! Can I just say, the amount of P-platers and GTIs at the moment? Yeah. Oh, please stop!
And every single time you have something like remotely loud or tuner, they just want to race you every single day.
Actually, I actually have a new viewpoint on this. So P-platers were in GTIs, okay, and Polos and that sort of thing. So I went to borderline West, Western Sydney, okay, where arguably all of the best cars are in Western Sydney. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. I would
Anything
say.
that's like half modified or any of the tuning shops, they're generally in Western Sydney.
Western Sydney has way better cars in terms of tuner culture than we do.
Heaps better. Now, and these even GTIs, right?
Even if like you say like North Shore, Northern Beaches have like the expensive supercars or whatever, you don't see them.
You don't see it because I never drive them.
They sit in a garage all day because someone old owns them. So you never
doesn't
see
want to
them.
do anything.
So they may as well not exist, you know?
So out in this West, right? I mean, there were Golf GTIs and P-platers and, I just can't stand GTIs. Anyways, I think they're getting replaced, GTIs. I think all the P-platers are moving over.
Oh, actually, I know what to.
Tell me if you think I'm thinking.
I think I know. So I'm going to say the i30.
Yes.
Yeah.
But not the N.
Yeah,
They're all buying the N line or whatever it is, the low one.
Yeah.
And they all actually sound really cool.
Yeah. The i30. The i30.
They're all moving to i30s.
New Golf GTI. Well, you get like 5-year warranty.
They're sick.
7-year warranty if your dealership's nice enough.
Yeah.
Well, one of my mates bought an i30N sedan.
7 was it? 7 years? 5.
7-year on road and 5-year track warranty.
See, that's so good.
Track warranty. Like, imagine going to the track for 5 years. I would be at the track every single weekend. You do a drive shaft, done for free.
Yep, done.
You get a loan car for free, and it gets fixed with a brand new OEM spec one.
Yeah. Which
is good for launch control. Yeah, it has launch control, firstly. It's super loud. You don't need to do any mods to the exhaust. It is loud enough. Even then, people put dump pipes on them. My mate's already thinking about buying a dump pipe for it. It's $1,200 for a dump pipe, and I think you get like... I don't think
is this on an N?
Yeah, on an N.
Okay, yeah.
So he has the N sedan, which is a little bit faster around the track because I think the longer wheelbase. But yeah, like the possibilities are insane. So $700, you can buy a tuned ECU, brand new ECU.
Yeah.
You just unplug yours, plug this in, boom, 40 extra kilowatts.
See, I just think that's amazing. Like
$700 for 40 kilowatts is insane.
It's so cheap.
Like you cannot do that in most cars.
The best thing about them, not even the N, but like I'm just talking the normal ones.
Yeah.
They're still really nice.
Yeah.
Like inside, they've got
super
these like,
nice.
Well, not bucket. I wouldn't say they're bucket, but they're sporty seats.
The sporty seats, they're Recaros. In America, I think they got a Recaro.
Yeah, and if you get the one with the moonroof or panoramic sun, it's sick.
It's awesome. Yeah, and they do everything you want. But like, I've got
cannot
wrap my head around 5-year track warranty.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Like, I would be every weekend I'd be at the track, and you could just fang it as hard as you want.
You would not care.
Why would you care? Yeah. Anything that breaks, you'll be like, no problem.
Warranty.
Yeah, no problem.
You know what? I've got one for you. We did do a podcast back in the day. When I say back in the day, like a quarter ago, whatever it was. And we said the best car that you could buy with your own money was a Mazda 3.
Yes.
I've changed. I am now Hyundai all the way.
Yes. Yeah, me too.
I think it is the best value for money car you can buy.
And that mate I talk about that bought the i30N, we actually went to buy a Mazda because I was like, nah, I'd rather you buy a Mazda
3, yeah.
And the problems that we had was lead times. They were like a year wait for a Mazda 6 because he didn't want a 3, he wanted something a little bit bigger. And then Mazda 6, I was a little bit like, that's a little bit boring. But
good car, nevertheless.
Let me tell you this, second-hand value-wise, the Mazda 6 is number 1 in holding its value as a second-hand car.
A Mazda 6?
Yeah, number 1 in Australia for holding its value as a second-hand car.
Really? I thought it'd be like a Hilux or something.
Nah, Mazda 6. Like, you can still get one 5 years old and it's only depreciated like the tiniest bit.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, probably because of the lead times.
Do
Probably
you know
'cause
what's
of how
funny
the-
though? Whenever anybody says to me sedan sort of car, right? All I can think of is like Subaru, Camry, like
Yeah.
Mazda 6 does not come to my mind.
Well, really, actually,
No,
Mazda
just-
6.
it's
Mazda
not at the
6
top
comes to
of-
my mind. What didn't come to my mind was an i30.
The sedan ones,
Yeah,
yeah.
i30N sedan. Like I never thought of that. In America, they're called Elantra.
Oh, that's right, different name.
Yeah, different
Yeah.
name. But I never thought of it. But when I did try it out, I was like, this is a done deal, dude.
It's so good.
210 kilowatts at the wheels. It's got all these amazing features.
Yeah.
55K brand new and 5-year track warranty.
So it just
And
makes
you
so
can get
much
it-
sense.
And you can get a dual clutch box. Whereas the Mazda 6 was not a dual
Did
clutch,
I
it was
like-
CVT.
Actually, I did really like the DCTs.
Yeah,
those.
the DCTs are good.
Yeah.
They're good. I mean, you can get a manual if you'd like. No extra. It's the same price for a manual or a dual clutch.
The only thing is, you know me, I've got some weird things about. Well, sorry, let me say this. From my experience of DCT,
Yeah, but that's because
I didn't like it.
You drove like a very bog standard car, right? Like the Sirocco
Bog standard.
was bog standard.
It's
yeah, like
not R. It was like 65
No.
grand new.
yeah, but a Golf R is more sporty, so like it has less lag.
Yeah.
And then you can tune the.
But it's not the lag.
DSG.
That's not my issue. It's just when you're like stop and start traffic, the clutch engaging, not coming in.
yeah,
like,
the shutter.
that
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
does like. And
But the
to be
i30N,
fair,
it feels like an
I
automatic.
think the PDK is the only gearbox that I haven't felt it like really in and out.
PDK
okay?
amazing, and the i30N was actually really good.
It has a little bit of lag.
Yeah,
when you
but
first start,
you
but
barely feel
not-
it.
Barely feel it.
Like
yeah.
you'll get over it in 5
It's
minutes
really,
of driving. You will
really
change your
good.
driving style in 5 minutes
Yeah.
enough to not
to
feel
make it work. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's really good gearbox.
Which I love that, and
I would buy a hatch though if it was me.
I kind of like the sedan.
I quite like the coupe. You know those limited edition coupe things I did. For a
The
little while?
fastback is called.
Fastback things. Yeah, yeah, they're pretty cool.
They just look. They're like so. It's the hatch interior, so it's a shitter interior.
Why is it a shit interior?
The hatch interior is shitter than the sedan.
Nah, they're
Yeah,
the
it is.
same. No way.
No way. The sedan is so much nicer
No
inside.
way.
The sedan is so much more
I'm gonna
comfortable inside.
Google this now.
Well, I went to the dealership and I tested both of them out. I test drove hatches and sedans, and the sedan was miles better than the hatch in terms of interior, and the fastback has the same interior as
Okay,
the hatch.
I will say, pretty much it's all the same, bar one thing. The center console is completely different,
It's so much nicer.
and I think the center console is better in the sedan. It's a nicer interior.
Yeah, it is.
I'll
Yeah,
give you
it is
that.
a nicer interior.
I'll give you that.
And the fastback comes with the hatch, but it's bigger than a hatch, so it's not as practical in terms
Yeah.
of parking and stuff. So you're getting the worst of both worlds with the fastback. It's not big enough to be a sedan. You can't fit all your shit in
Yeah,
it.
but it looks cool.
It doesn't look that cool. And the hatch is more practical in terms of putting stuff in the back.
I agree with that.
The fastback is tiny. Yeah, the fastback is just very impractical and
I like it.
way more money than the hatch as well.
It's cool though.
Which doesn't make
It's
sense.
different.
But they only made, I think they said like
They didn't make many. They didn't make
390
yeah.
or something of them.
But the thing is, the reason I like is everybody has a hatch now. Not many people have sedans, but there's heaps of hatches.
I think hatches are going out of fashion.
Slowly, I think, yes.
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of people are going to smaller cars.
I hope we get over this SUV craze, personally.
I think we have. I think we
No,
have.
I don't
Think about
think we are.
think about all the new cars coming out. More than SUVs, there's CUVs. So we've definitely gone over from SUVs to CUVs for sure. Way past SUVs.
Okay. We're way past SUVs yet. CUVs. CV, SUV, I don't care. UV.
But
whatever UV
People
it
are
is.
moving from CUVs to hatches, which they did. And now sedans are coming out. And coupes. Coupes are the huge thing. So like Nissan making the 400. The Toyota making the GR Supra, the GR Yaris, the GR Corolla, the
They're not
GR86.
coupes.
They're all coupes. They're 2 doors.
GR Corolla, it's 4 doors.
Oh, GR Corolla, but the GR Yaris is 2 door.
Yeah.
So that's like 3 of their fleet is 2 door,
Yeah.
which is unheard of from Toyota.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Camrys, Corollas, RAV4s,
All 4
Cougars,
doors, yeah.
yeah, massive cars. Lots of companies coming out with it. You know, like Hyundai's coming out with
Yeah.
the N-line stuff. Stinger from Kia,
That's ended.
that's ended.
They've killed
Yeah,
it.
but that was 4 door. That was 4 door.
Can
Does
I just
Kia have a sport car at all?
No.
No.
You know, the one thing is, though, I think we will look back on the Kia Stinger in 3 or 4 years from now and go, far out, why did none of us think of buying one back then?
I think it's a modern classic.
I think modern classic, that's a big word for that.
That's
a big, they sold a lot. Remember that.
No, I think in 5 years' time, we're all going to be like, oh my God, they're so cheap and they're so amazing. Why didn't we get them?
I think there'll be a following, yeah. I don't think they're going to be a future classic.
I think so.
You know what? In all honesty, rear-wheel drive, 6-cylinder twin turbo,
it's super rare in terms of they did not sell compared to other car brands.
Yeah, they didn't sell heaps and heaps, but
it's the only sports car Kia made of the time.
Yeah,
I know Kia's now gone to electric with Ioniq 5, Ioniq 6, which look amazing.
They look so good.
They look amazing, but you know, electric cars. Do we want to move over? America's different. Brazil's different. I know Europe's pretty much there. Australia's so far. We are so far from electric infrastructure.
Yeah, so you know what? I'll tell you a story. So, how do I say? A tradesman that I use at work, right?
Yeah.
I say tradesman, he's not even a tradesman. He's got an iconic thing, box on wheels. What's the box on wheels? 4 doors, sort of hatchy
Kona.
back. Huh?
Kona. Yeah.
Kona? No. What's the one bigger than the Kona? 5.
Palisade?
No, iconic 5, I think. Or something.
Ioniq
Fully
5.
electric.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Whatever it is. Okay, now, he doesn't even have the full-blown fast one. He's got the I think there's 3 tiers, and I think he's got the middle one or whatever it is.
Okay.
Paid about 90,000 for it. Really nice car inside. At first, I wasn't sold to them, but now I really like them.
Yep.
He decided to himself, and the range on that car is about 450 kilometers. I think per tank, not per tank. Per
charge.
Per charge.
Yeah.
He decided one day, and he goes, Alex, don't call me next week. I am driving my electric car to Queensland. And I went, you're nuts. I was like, there's no way. And this was the week it was
I know we have
or
enough
something.
infrastructure for interstate driving, but
not as much as you think.
I think it's worse when it comes to just driving around Sydney.
Yeah.
I think Sydney's worse than interstate because you'll always have every 300 kilometers at least you'll have one charging station.
Yeah, somewhere. But the thing is, he said to me, there's the charger and there's a supercharger. Okay.
Yes.
Supercharger's I think 40 minutes or something.
Yeah.
And the other charger's
3 hours, 4 hours.
Yeah, something ridiculous. So based on the distances of his charge or whatever it was, he had to go out about 400 kilometers outside of Sydney.
Yeah.
Okay. Which his charge would let him do, right?
Yeah.
450, 460K.
Yeah.
Air conditioning on for half an hour, range 310.
Whoa.
Okay. He then had to pull into a slow charger.
Oh.
He had to sit there for an hour, okay?
Yeah.
After 40 minutes, stopped working. He had to move to the charger alongside it.
Yeah, that's
sit there another
normal.
half an hour.
Yeah.
Okay?
Because they don't want to overcharge the battery.
Charged it,
Yeah.
got in the car, went up north, then found the supercharger.
Yeah.
Had to wait 15 minutes for people to then move out. One of them was about to finish, right?
Yep.
He then plugged in, waited 40 minutes, full charge, went straight up north again, okay?
Yep.
Had to make another stop at one more supercharge, which wasn't working. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Then had to drive another 100 kilometers north to then a normal charger.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then again, the normal charger, he plugged in and worked for 40 minutes or something or an hour.
Yeah.
And he said, it's not enough. I have to move the car again. And this is after he went for 2 hours of shopping. He found out it stopped after 1 hour.
That's painful.
And then found a supercharger, then made it to Brisbane.
Oh, what a pain.
So it's like a 3-day ordeal to get this.
I think electric's just not here.
It's not there
We're
yet.
just not ready yet. But the other thing is, if you live in an apartment complex and you have a supercharger in your apartment complex, you have to pay.
Oh, yeah, you'd have to, yeah.
You have to pay, right? And this is not first-hand experience. This is what I've heard. This YouTuber that I watch in the UK, in London, charged a... what's that new EMG, like the electric AMG C63
EQS 53 plus or something.
Yeah, whatever
it is. Yeah,
it's some complicated name,
Yeah.
but yeah. So big electric car.
yeah.
Yeah, £80 to fill up.
What
£80
of electricity?
of electricity.
How
£80 because
for one charge?
Supercharge, yeah, it takes a lot of electricity, right?
I'm sorry, that's bullshit.
I was
£80.
I was like, that's how much I pay in fuel.
If that.
No, I like we do. Like your mum's Porsche would take that easy. £80 would be like $160, $150.
Yeah, that's a full tank.
Yeah, like my Jeep Grand Cherokee takes $170 full tank.
That's ridiculous.
And then you factor into the fact that
how? What are they charging him for?
mining lithium nickel takes unbelievable amounts of like resources. Making the electricity unbelievable amounts of resources. Making an electric car, like making those batteries, is unbelievable.
Disposing of electric cars.
We haven't even got to that yet. We actually, data-wise, we don't know how hard it is. What do you do? Like, do you throw it in the bin? Are you going to recycle it?
Don't just throw it in the bin.
Dude, it costs for, I think it's a Tesla, it's like $35,000 US to get a new battery pack in it.
It's ridiculous.
The battery pack only lasts like 8, 9, 10 years, whatever, right? We actually haven't gotten to that stage where people don't know what to do with them. Do they go to the tip? Do they go to the junkyard? Do they get scrapped? Can you like flatten it? What do we call it? Crush it?
Yeah, crush it.
Like what happens to an electric car once the life cycle's done, right? So let's not even talk about that. And then all of this, and then it takes you £80 to charge.
It's ridiculous.
Charge you a $300,000 Mercedes. Just go and buy an AMG.
Tracking back to remember what I said? This was like 8 months ago. And I was looking at the stock for electric cars in Europe. Not that I trade in Europe, but I was just looking at it.
Yeah.
And I think it was a company in Norway, and you might remember this. And they take this car, you drive it in. It's an old shipping container.
Yep.
And you park in this shipping container, and I think you take your hands off the wheel for 3 minutes, and it pulls the battery out of the car and replaces it with a whole new battery.
Yeah, like fully charged one. So
Completely.
5 minutes for battery change.
Yep. And you just pay a yearly service fee of whatever the hell it costs.
And then they'll charge the other battery. So the next person that comes in.
That's it. That's all they do.
They'll put that fully charged in.
It's a brilliant system.
It is a brilliant
that's what they
system.
should be putting in here.
It's a lot of money.
Electric cars piss me off.
One, it's a lot of money, right? Two, imagine the queue.
Oh, God.
Like coming out of the shipping container. You'll need a car park behind it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then also remember that each charging station can only hold 5 batteries. I think it said 4 to 5 batteries.
Yeah, they need to make that better.
So after you do 5 cars, then you have to wait 3 hours for it to fully charge.
Yeah, and then do
other
another
batteries.
one.
Yeah, which is
But if they took that to a grander scale,
but that's a lot of money.
maybe. But
Who's spending that money? Like,
you know what?
Like, is Australia willing to do like government rebates? Because that's how
they were on Teslas.
Most electric cars. That's how it works. Yeah, like we have a McDonald's 20 minutes from us that has
charging stations.
2 or 3 charging stations in it, and they've had it for years. Like not new, they've had it for a long time.
Actually, do you know what? Sorry, I have to bring this up because this is a pet peeve of mine now.
Yeah,
freaking electric charging stations and parking.
What do you mean?
Okay, the parking space for an electric car is better than disabled spots.
Oh yeah,
like it's literally next to the door, double the width. Like how
lavish? Yeah, but that's because they want to encourage people.
It's ridiculous.
The other day I saw the funniest thing. I saw a FD Civic, so it's like 2009 Civic sedan with a completely broken up back. Right?
Yeah,
it had a EV badge on it. And the number plate had the EV logo on it.
Oh, yes, I love it.
And this guy could just park in the electric.
What a genius. I love it. I love it. Not that you should do that. You shouldn't do that.
There is no way that car is electric in any way.
Can I just say the funniest thing for me is I saw a video of this guy. There was like a car park. I think it must have been in Europe or something, right?
Yeah.
A line of like Teslas, Hyundais, electric cars, okay?
Yeah.
About 15 in a row, okay?
Yeah.
And this is on Instagram, and I was just watching it, and he just goes, oh, whoops, and he pulls the cable out of the first car, right? And it's the first shot, and he's like laughing about it. The next shot, it cuts to it. Every single car in this line has been unplugged, and he's like, I've made the world a better place. And walks away. That's
genius. That's a dickhead.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
That's a dickhead. Do
not do that.
That's very
funny, but don't do that.
That's a dickhead.
That's
that's like someone coming up to your petrol station while you're filling up and pressing the stop button.
That's just, you're laughing about it as you say it. It's hilarious. It's so funny.
Like, why would you do that?
It's a great idea.
That's a dick
It's
move.
awesome. It's
That's
awesome.
for sure a dick move.
Well, I think we're going to wrap this one up here. And
we talked about nothing.
No. We talked crap.
We didn't achieve a single thing. I don't even know what.
We're going to get on to key cars next. So key cars the next episode.
K.
Oh, key car.
K cars.
K, sorry.
K cars. Yeah.
KEI.
For those of you who don't know what K cars are, we've rambled on for 45 minutes.
Yeah, sorry.
K cars are 660cc or less. It's a classification in Japan. Because Japan taxes you in terms of how big your engine is, because it's like carbon footprint and emissions and everything.
And then I think there's cheaper insurance as well.
Yeah, cheaper everything.
Yeah.
So 660cc or less is basically a scooter.
They're trying to encourage people to get into smaller, well, I say vehicles, not
smaller
engined vehicles.
Yeah,
let's
well,
say.
there are smaller vehicles, obviously,
Yeah.
because there's only so far a 600cc engine can take you anyway. Half a litre, it's
It's so small.
like a rice cooker's bigger than that.
It actually is. That's funny.
So yeah, we will leave you here, but thank you very much for listening. And the next one, hopefully, we will have better. Whoa, my phone's freaking out. We'll have better topics, and we won't go off on a million tangents and talk crap about EVs like
Yeah,
we
but maybe
usually
the
do.
tangent is what people wanted to hear after a quarter.
Oh, maybe
We don't know,
but
right?
we definitely do
We're
not.
moving with the times.
We definitely do not need to talk crap about EVs every single time. I feel like that's
Do you know what's funny?
unnecessary.
I think you and I both have similar opinion, which is we like the idea of electric power.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
just the way it's being applied and the way they're putting it in cars and the shelf life of
It's
them
not-
is not the right way.
It's
to
not the
do it.
permanent solution. I don't
Yeah.
believe it is. I think it's a very temporary
And like
solution.
you look at AMG One. Remember that one they put the F1
Yep.
engine in?
Yep.
Electric assistance.
Yeah.
Awesome. New Lambo coming out. 3 electric motors for the
Already
V12.
out. Revuelto.
Already
Lamborghini
out.
Revuelto.
Yeah.
The Aventador.
Brilliant, right?
Aventador replacement. What do you think about that? Actually, let's just quickly. Sorry. What do you think about that?
Me personally,
Yeah.
I think it's so freaking cool.
I love it.
I love it. I actually think it's one of the best cars we've seen
Yeah,
in the last 5 or 10 years.
and I know obviously it's going to have the iconic Lamborghini look
Yeah.
at the front, of course, right?
That sort of jet fighter look.
It is still a ground up chassis. It's not a facelifted Aventador. I know a lot of people say it's a facelifted Aventador, but it's not.
It's the thing is, you look at history of Lamborghini. It doesn't matter. They've been building cars for 60 years or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They are all still similar
Well, they have to, right?
silhouettes.
It's
right?
also
Because
brand recognition. Like,
that
you
is the
look at
Lambo
that-
look.
You look at that front end, even if you can't see the badge, you know it's a Lambo.
Oh,
straight
yeah.
away.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Porsche's been doing it for hundreds of years. So, let's be honest. You know,
Yeah, it's like
nothing's changed
nothing's
in a Porsche.
changed in a Porsche,
911's the same.
No.
But
they've gone.
but
Hey,
we still
we've-
love them.
Yeah,
We still love them.
I love it because they always say, "Oh, the brand new." Can I just say the 911 range is the most confusing thing?
Oh yeah. There
You
are
will ever
so
go
many
through.
different models, and they all look the same.
Oh, sorry, we have to end it there.
Just the
We're gonna-
911 range.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll be back.
Reach out to us on social media, Instagram at the Automotive Society Podcast _.
What are you
Alright.
talking about? Instagram is just the Automotive
Oh, yeah,
Society
that one.
_
There you go. That's what I said. What
You said podcast.
Oh, okay, yeah, Automotive
Yeah.
Society. Sorry, yep.
Alex
You're
has lost it. We also have a email, which is theautomotivesociety@outlook.com. And that's mainly it. You know, we should start a Facebook. We don't have a Facebook.
Well, we should do the Facebook.
Are we? Is it too old? Are you guys too young for
I don't-
Facebook? Facebook's the old generation thing now.
Face and Gram are the things, right?
Nah, Face is gone.
Face has got its Gram now.
It's just Graham.
Yeah, okay. See,
TikTok.
I don't get TikTok.
We actually are on TikTok, the Automotive Society, but I haven't posted anything up because I just don't know. And that's a lot of editing.
Yeah. This is what we're going to get known
Alex
for.
is very
The
lazy.
Yeah. When it comes to editing, I'm no good. No good.
He hasn't touched
Nah.
any of the videos. I do all of it. And I have no idea what I'm doing. So
He makes it work. He makes it work.
I
All
don't.
right, well, we'll catch you on the next one.
All
Look forward to talking about K cars.
Yeah, that's it. All right. See you guys.
See ya.